All right. Most of all, get funky. Get funky most of all. Most of all, get funky. Get funky most of all. La da da dee da 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 da. I don't know, y'all. I'm stuck on trying to get to singing the originals. So I'm gonna hit these words. And I think this is written by Marvin Gaye and his first wife. Can't think of her name. Berry Gordy's sister. I think they're both passed, but I think Berry Gordy's sister too. Baby, baby, you don't understand how much I love you, baby, and how much I want to be your only man. Baby, baby, you don't have to go. Stay around a little longer, baby. I want to talk to you just a little more. I can see the tears in your eyes about to fall. You are wondering if I'm for real. But if you cry, I wonder why you cry. I can tell you how I feel. Baby, I'm for real. Ooh, ooh, ooh. If you want to know the truth about it, girl, I can't live without you. That's why I'm confessing myself, my love to you. I want to live my whole life with you. That's them originals, baby. You got to know something about that. That's that pimp music. Turn the spotlight, y'all, and put me on the display. Turn on the spotlight, y'all, and put me on the display. All right, y'all know I got to get rid of this bad shit up around the universe. I got to get into it, man. You know, moving, grooving. Crap. Kind of forgot. CBD lotion. About time to get some more CBD lotion. But it actually works. No people be like, this is a placebo. It's not. This is why they banned this shit around in the 30s. Because it had too many things to compete with the pharmaceuticals. You can grow your own natural plant and get all this. All right. See if this one wants to play tonight. All right. Didn't really want to play too much, but that's all right. I wonder how they invented some shit. You know, like how did they invent this shit? How did they come up with this shit and feel that these bowls can change your vibration? That's kind of some genius shit. Is every night give you the energy of the blue argonite. Just like this heavy motherfucker here. There's a bass in it. Let me see if I can hit the bass, find where the bass is. Here it is. How do they do that? How do they get the bass? All right, my shoulder can only take so much. Well, let me introduce myself. This is Big Pontiac here, and this is the Chocolate Mountain Show. I am the holder of the sacred, infinite creation ball field and ball game created by the Hero Twins. I am also that one and only galactic daddy-o, welcoming each and every one of the Chocolate Mountaineers to my galactic patio from Minnesota to the universe. And tonight we are still drinking, why did my son say porter? This shit don't say porter. They call it the shake, the chocolate. Yeah, I guess it is a porter. Dark chocolate porter shake by Boulder Beer. Boulder Beer. So pop them if you got them. And I was drinking an unfiltered beer, so that's why I was motherfuckers like, this nigga don't never do his glasses. Now that other beer I got, that Summit shit is unfiltered. Look up the process of filtered beer. But don't you wish you would be right now? Don't you wish you would me? Look at that porter goodness, them caramels and them chocolates. Don't you wish you were me? Look at that. And we are still smoking on the Yukon Wolf Evolve Plus XL. So smoke them if you want them. Okay, that's just like straight gas. Whew. What they say, you better blow that shit out. So who are the Mountaineers joining me tonight? Brother PJ Allen, what's happening? PJ, I have to admit that Memphis hat with the bear on it is kind of tough. Was kind of liking it. I like that hat with the Memphis with the bear on it, the Grizzly. That is so sharp. King Kane, what is going on? Thank you for joining. Brother Soap, what's happening? Mopreme 75, what's happening? Thank you for the kind words. Remember that story I sent you about Fortnite's outing? Why was the song Secret Lovers was playing at the bar? That's my girl Barbara Weathers too. I know that girl that sings that with Midnight Star. That was my girl. That was my roommate's girlfriend, Barbara. That's funny though. Brother E, Brother Edward, what's happening? Thank you. Blessing the great Black Jaguar. Yes, let's give the transformation energy to everybody. You know, we're gonna transform it. This is the omen. You know, that brother's talking about the Moors civilizing society. Hell no. It comes from this baby, the omen. And even Sister Tasha's doing some shit on Facebook, but the mound builders, all that, the omen ran everything up to the Giants, all their culture. So, Vudaka, thank you for joining. Thank you. Brother Marcus the Great, thank you for joining. What is happening? I got the Vancouver. Oh, you got the Vancouver one too. Ooh, that's nice. I was just thinking when I go back to Michigan, I'm gonna hit that store I hit in Lansing, that store that had all the old stock stuff. Definitely want to get some more of that stuff. That place has some good gear. And the cheaper Kangos. I mean, the price of Kangos is ridiculous. And I love Kangos, but $70, $80 a rip is kind of tight. It's kind of tight. It's kind of tight. Last summer, I spent at least $200 on bucket hats. Kind of my daughter's like, you're just going with the trend. I admit. I'll say this, though. If you don't wear sunglasses, bucket hats is perfect for the sun because you can definitely wear it where it's like a visor. And that's kind of what the idea of baseball hats was, too. They didn't wear shades. You know, the bill would actually can block the sun out somewhat. So, but yeah. So to buy them hats, Brother Jeffrey, greetings. It's so good to see you hanging around. I guess I'll start with this shit I posted earlier, which was sad as fuck. The sacrifice of that young brother. It's no other way to look at it. that brother is no way he's supposed to be on the highway. They would have said his car was broke down and he got hit by a damn dump truck. You know, like whose daily goal is to go out there and get ran over by a dump truck on the highway? Now, okay, let's just say the highway is 65 miles an hour. And I know through my traffic investigation, do you know if you're looking at yards per minute as the truck goes, are you telling me this man cannot look at a truck and like, well, you know, I might can dash in front of that truck. You telling me on his normal mind that a man can run out on the highway and say, now I can see if the truck is a mile away, but at the least this man ran a 5 flat 40. So you telling me this dump truck from a half mile away, he couldn't beat because they showed the highway. It was a divided highway. It had a divider. So you telling me he couldn't make it to the divider before he got smashed by a dump truck. And as I told PJ, Sly, Zach Hubbard, because Zach Hubbard even commented on the shit, that man had to be drugged. That man had to be drugged. Don't know that. He had to be drugged. There's no way that man in his right mind went out there and tried to do that and had that bad a judgment. So, I find the other one. I'll send this one to you. They sold out of this OG one. This one has Splash imprint on it. Oh, okay. Man, they came out with some powder blue hats the other day. Oh, I mean, I just spend so much money on hats that I like. Sometimes I had to pull back like, damn, I just buy hats. But like the discount I get on lids, the 50, what the hats is 44, 45. And there's no tax on clothes here. So whatever the price is, you just get it. So with my discount on hats, I get about 20% discount. So lids gives me, most of my hats be like 33, 35. And if I get something wrote on them, you know, it's a little cheaper, but man, that truck was sent after him, of course. But it was like everything they did to take him down. And then at 24, it was like I was looking at one number. What was that number? What was it? Was it the golf lead? But I was looking at it was like 13. You know, it was like, what was it? But it's like I looked at the numbers like that equal to 13. I'm seeing 13 all over today. And after I get that story with him, and you know it's a sacrifice. Yeah, Dwayne. Yeah, it's no way. I mean, tell me that his car broke down. They saying this come from the State Patrol. The State Patrol said they don't know why he was out there. So you telling me that he broke up with a girl and he couldn't call nobody? I mean, if you arguing with a girl and you think she about to put you out, you ain't gonna get out until somebody else come and get you. Be like, oh, bitch, I'm not getting out this motherfucker. Hey, this bitch is tripping. Come get me. Where you at? I'm on marker 75, you know? You telling me a millionaire, and he's probably got close to $1 million, is out there walking. He was drugged and he was taken out there. And that's why his reflexes was fucked up. Well, I don't even I don't even want to read what supposedly happened. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like it makes no sense on so many different levels. Yeah, definitely. He went to my high school. Okay, Glenville. Okay, Cleveland East. Oh, wow. All right, all right. I think he should have stayed in college a little longer. He just didn't have. See, one thing you got to think about playing quarterback is you need reps. You need to see everything. You need to see. See, it's not like basketball where young you get good. Football is about, especially at the quarterback position, you are talking about mental maturity, being able to study and being able not only to study and being able to see all these moving parts, even to fix it playing quarterback. You got to understand all that. I figured these people only invest in fear. They use it as a tool, but things is we have consent to everything. If we don't consent, then plans are delayed and they move on. Okay. Was he going to be the starting quarterback? I don't think so. It didn't look like he was even going to start this year. Yeah, researcher, thank you for joining. I don't even think he was going to start. I wonder what's brewing for Pittsburgh, Washington, and Ohio State. That's a good point, because that's the first thing SportsCenter shot to. SportsCenter shot to people putting his jersey up. It was like they put his jersey up almost like it's hanging. You know, it's that's what it says. It says he was alone, and they don't know why he was out there. Why was he out there? He's down there getting in shape with his teammates, and you tell him he just no one knew, and he's just out there walking on the highway. Come on. Was 24, died 24 days before his birthday. Good share. I didn't even know that. Good share. Good share. Good share. Hey, hard hitting. Well, hope you everybody. Hey, very, very kind words. He's the quarterback from yeah, I did too, but I just thought he needed more starts. He just didn't have. He should have looked at, what was his name, Cordell, that there was Ohio State's quarterback when they won the bowl game. He should have looked at his career as he just needed more work. At quarterback, you just need more work. You need more looks. Even the script, you need more work, and he wasn't ready for the NFL. Space Cowboy. It's the whole story reeks of bullshit. There's no way a dude worth millions is crossing a highway. Exactly. You're going to stay on the same side where you safe. I mean, damn. I mean, it just makes no sense. Said he was out there training with Mitchell Trubisky. Yeah, but he was training. Yeah, he was out there training. There's a bunch of them down there, though. It wasn't just him. It was a bunch of them training. Do you watch the Gill video? He said about Haskins. No, I didn't watch him. I don't watch him. I don't know who you're talking about. So Cordell Jones. Yeah, PJ. Cordell Jones. He needed more work. You know, Cordell needed more work. Yeah, he won the one big game, but he needed more work. He was just walking on the highway and got hit. Said. That's what he said. Shit. Yeah. Gil Brandt. Oh, Gil Brandt. That was Gil Brandt was the Cowboys dude, wasn't he? He was just walking the highway like damn. Yeah, exactly. He shouldn't have been out there. I mean, why was he out there? He was taken out there. And Najee Harris. Okay. Gil Brandt was old Cowboys scout or something, wasn't he? So I don't know, guys. I mean, the price of fame is hell. It really is. And now his family got to be all shook up. Now his career's cut short. For what? Like, what did he achieve? What did he really achieve? Look at how they did him. What did he achieve? His whole career, he had one year glory at the college level, and then just humiliation. It's not uncommon for a rookie quarterback not to do well, but you put him out there because he gets the experience. And to be shamed the way he was shamed, it just doesn't make sense as a story. It just doesn't. Did I miss? Let me see. Yeah, Gil Brandt says something about he was working to die. Very strange comments he said today. Him working to die. Oh, okay. I know the one little short dude on ESPN said, was kind of like, it ain't sad or nothing like that. I heard he was groomed since the beginning. He got a video and years old saying he was going to play for Ohio State, home of the Jesuits for real. Okay. Hard hitting. Thank you for joining me. Hey, Trill, thank you for joining me. And they have that for a lot of players. They have that for a lot of players. Quantum of Science put out a thing like Tom Brady, where they showed that Terry Bradshaw checked in the hospital as an alias was Tom Brady when Tom Brady was a little boy. So you see where they was trying to put that out there. And if they can change the past, that could have been very well, but it made a little bit of the story, so they was able to look it up, and some people posted it. There was a time where you could put an alias and go in the hospital, not anymore. Not anymore. Not. I don't think that's legal anymore. You can't even, unless you own a company, you can't even go into a hotel and use a different name like you used to do, like you once did. Used to do. That's some southern kind of talking. Used to do. Oh. Think Tiger wins is gonna win the six at the Masters? No, I don't think so. I missed this. Normally, I think a lot of these are fake, but I think they did this dude dirty. Maybe he didn't play the way they wanted. That could be. You think is gonna win? No, I don't think he's gonna win. He's down to 40. He got to really shoot a good day tomorrow. I don't think it's any. The number 6 Woods lock. I don't know, Jay. I don't think so. I don't think he's gonna get it. I don't think he's gonna get it tomorrow. Nah. Yeah, I don't think he's gonna get it either. Quantum has been bugging lately, thinking everything is in the reality is actually doing things instead of these people. I think he knows it's a combination of both, but I ain't defending the motherfucker. I don't defend motherfuckers like that. I just stay what he say. You gotta use your own discernment. It was something up with Bradshaw. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Terry. I can't say Terry didn't have skills, but Joe Gilliam beat him out. Let's remember that. He was beat out by Joe Gilliam. He's better than Terry Hanratty, but he got beat out by Joe Gilliam. He didn't do a sacrifice himself, so they sacrificed him. That could have been a good point, PJ. Absolutely good point. Celebrities still use fake names to stay at hotels. I don't know. I think what would you say? They say fake names, them be business names. Because I know a little bit about the hotel industry, and them be business names. You can put a business name that you ain't titled to, but go in there and you ain't got ID for all that, and you ain't got a credit card for that. Shit, a lot of places won't let you check in if the credit card ain't even in your name, or the debit card or whatever you use it. A lot of places don't even take cash. You go to hotels and try to drop cash, a lot of them won't even take the cash. So, you think you're going to go in a hotel and you got cash, you better call ahead to see if they take cash, because a lot of them don't take cash because they stay open all the time. They open all night. So they don't like having all that cash. So, I don't know. I think we do live on a living thing. I think the living thing that we live on was taken over, as I said, by the technology, by the God that knows no God higher than him, Yabatha. That's what it appears. It appears like some part of this living thing we are on, they were able to manipulate it. Now, why they were able to manipulate it, and like Animal House said, you look at your nail and you say, there could be multiple worlds just in your nails. Like just these little specks, could be multiple worlds. Because really from the quantum perspective, just the tiniest makes nations, makes galaxies. If you really think about from the quantum perspective of you could break it down to a quantum, I can't think of the fuck what it's called, but you can look at that shit. I mean, it's and a lot of the quantum is guessed about anyway. So where am I at? Who was the fastest player in the NFL ever? Johnson ran the fastest 40 time ever. Johnson from the Titans, he ran yeah, I'm not the best with golf he scored, but he's down. They can script anything. Yeah, he's down 41st place. Not out of it, but yeah. So he's down to he was 41st. Which not he can't win it. But yeah, Chris Johnson, maybe that was his name. Chris Johnson ran the fastest. He ran a 4.21, I think. I guess that's up for because they said Bo Jackson ran a 3.9. That's the fastest reported 40 in NFL history is a 3.9. But they said at the combine it was Johnson. Johnson broke Deion Sanders' record. What we profit a man if he gonna the whole world? He loses his soul. Yeah, there's no profit. And as I read from the Gnostic Bible, you are promised immortality. You are promised immortality. Now, I know a lot of people say free will, but no, the thing you were given was immortality. And again, free will is nothing but social norms. That's all it is. It's social norms. So the God gave you a social norm. That's kind of what they really saying. They saying that you was given a social norm under the guise of free will. It means the same thing. Social norm and free will mean the same thing. Yeah, damn near need a card everywhere. Exactly. So it's like that's a hard thing to do but not through the company. You can hide through the company. You can get but even through the company cards, you do still have to show your individual ID. I think Terry Bradshaw's story was a copy and posted on purpose, like them books, Lost Presidents, about Trump being a traveler whatsoever. Oh, it could be. But remember that the future can change the past. I mean, you got to look at that. Like, remember, time is this way. Time is like this. And so you can go here or you can go that way. And that butterfly effect is bullshit. And the butterfly effect is bullshit. You can go back in time and you can you can smash chicks, have children. I mean, none of that will change shit. You could kill Hitler and another motherfucker would pop up and be Hitler. I mean, the mind can move that way too. The mind can go back with you and you ain't going to change shit. What? Just like I said, the passion of Christ. Christ is holding this motherfucker and the devil is watching to see if he gonna do it. It's the same thing. If you try to make a move like that, if you got those abilities and you can move in the past, the Maya is going to find a way, just like the Smiths. The Maya is going to smith the motherfucker to watch you. That's their way of the twins. They always put the opposite. It's like if you turned into Superman, you can better believe, you can believe that somewhere and believe in nothing, but you can understand that somewhere it's going to be your opposite. So you wake up and you Superman, you flying around and shit, or you Shazam, it is another motherfucker that's got that same shit because that's the way this shit likes to do it. Kind of check and balance. I know I always say it's reptilians. Yeah, we had a little bit of that talk last night. But as I say, go into Jupiter's Rising, the reptilians was defeated. Oh gosh, what is his name? Wes Paneri talks about the loss of I think you check out Wes Paneri's work and he talks in detail on how the reptilians lost. He's one of the best at that. It's going to be light at death, just a sign of reincarnation, the light being a never-ending cycle of the prison planet. Yeah, you don't go to the light. You stay in the dark and create your own light. Again, when Jesus looked down at the shining little baby or the shining little angel, he depended on them. He's like, I ain't the one. And that's what I was saying as the young man earlier, Sly had on, was talking about Islam and Allah. That's, you're going to listen to Allah and Allah going to tell you ain't the one? Or you going to believe what's in your heart saying you are the one? Because that's what they showed. They showed that this Christ consciousness listened to something outside of himself. And of course, I have a problem with blind belief. You can't have blind belief. You have to experience spirituality. You can't believe in it. You have to experience. It's a living thing that you have to experience. You have to bring it in. Can't nobody put it out there. Can't nobody put it out there and say, because you believe in this, you've hit spirituality. No, it don't work like that. It is in you already. You have to find the God in you. You have to find the God force in you. It's not outside you. It's you. What's your take on religion? Well, I think I kind of hit that. You can't have blind belief. Whatever you practice is blind belief. That's why I always love, and I know Quantum of Science tried to hit this, but I love this book because this book prepares you not only for death, but for those that can move through the ethers. This book tells you. Now, I'm not a practicer of shamanism because I don't need a demon to move. Now, I don't mind having an animal move with me, but I don't even need the animal. But what it prepares you for, and it's directional energy. That's what I talk about. I've got it right here in front of me. I've got directional energy all around me. It talks about directional energy, and it talks about if you can raise your vibes high enough, be near death or even just an experience, how you are going to see things that's going to trip you out because you never experienced it. But it's like, how do you relate to that? How do you relate to something that just is like the horror shit they show? Like if Pinhead, you know, how if you run into that and you need to go where it's staying and you need to solve the riddle, you know, like the Sphinx, you had to solve the riddle and shit. So you see Pinhead and you see it, are you going to be so afraid knowing that you need to go through there? Or if you're going to sit there and face it. Like, damn, Pinhead, man, I liked your movie. Motherfucker, I watched your movie a bunch of times. I'm not tripping. What's happening, man? What you need? Trump's uncle supposedly took Tesla's research for the CIA after his mysterious death. Well, you know, Tesla's death, they killed him with 1,000 cuts. If he's not a made-up character, they killed him with 1,000 cuts. Okay, check this out. In the Eternals, remember the brother that plays Paperboy? Remember when he was in the room and he was about to give, they showed the original steam engine that was made in the 1500s. That's what they showed you a blueprint of the first real, well, not totally a car, but a steam engine car. That's what he showed you. But also what he showed you is that's how Tesla could do that. Tesla could build a machine in space-time and see every part it needed. And then go throw all that shit on the blueprint. But he actually could see it in space-time, and he could even see it in space-time such a way if a part didn't work, he knew to bring in a new part to make his engine work. There's not a lot of people that have that ability. I thought that was, I don't know, a lot of people in Eternals would have paid attention to that. Maybe I should make a short video about that. But a lot of people would not pay attention to that part is what you was actually seeing. They broke Tesla. Again, he was robbed. What's his name? The dude who vetted the light bulb. He cheated Tesla out of 50 grand, which would be millions today. Westinghouse really cheated him out of millions. And he was not a good business person. He probably needed a manager of his business. He was not a good business person because by the time he was about to give the world free energy, cell phones in 1920, he didn't own his business. So when they pulled the funding, he didn't own none of that. And all he could do was just get the fuck up out of there. That was his mistake, not being a better business person. When Edison said, I'm going to give you 50 grand if you can solve this problem, he should have got the contract and said, okay, I can solve it, sign the contract, and bounding. And he had that time and time again. So they really had broke him years before. So by the time Trump breaks into his safe, you know, how much out there that they didn't already know, I guess would be my question. Like, how much out there was it, A.B. Brown? How much was out there that they didn't already know? I don't know if there would have been a whole lot. They just push these rituals and people can't figure it out. It's like already they're trying to bring the bug back. They're trying to bring the bug back. They're already telling you the bug is in China. What they just tell you in D.C. All these politicians met, and it's a super spreading events. 30 to 60 people got it out of all the people there. What are they trying to tell you? That they might want to lock your ass down again. That is what they're trying to bring up. You can't look at it any other way. Why would they put that out there, super spreader? Why would they put that out there? And that's been put out in the news since yesterday. So you have to be aware of what they're trying to do because they see that people ain't fearful. And that's what they did for 2 years. I mean, it's people still fearful. It's still people wrapping up, walking outside, wrapping up as even the sun. We know this shit can't make you sick during the sun. I mean, it's just the flu ain't there with the sun. Pneumonia ain't there with the sun. Very rarely. So supposedly reptilians control every country. Okay. Jay, 44th. Obama 44th. Yep, it is. Jackson faster than Dion. He had a faster time. He broke Dion's time. Dion did it sweet. Dion got out of the limousine and ran like a 4.23, 4.24, something like that. But Chris Jackson beat that time because Dion didn't do nothing but run the 40. They did a whole video crew on him, filming him, and he just went into the NFL Combine and he ran the 40, and it was the fastest ever in playing. He was like in joggers, but they say plain clothes, but he was in joggers. Wasn't like he was running in some Stacy's or some Gators. He had sweat clothes on. But yeah, Chris Johnson broke Dion's record. Definitely sentient living beings. Yeah. That's why I say I don't even, these motherfuckers have been here so long, you can't even call them aliens anymore. It's the same thing, like I said, with the natives. I mean, these beings have been here so long that are they really aliens when 2-3 of their generations, and probably even more, when you got several of their generations that was born here. So are they aliens anymore? You've got people born on Earth related to people not born on Earth. So it's the same thing that the natives use. One sign that agreement, the contract that you're giving the Beast Matrix consent for whatever script game it does you. Yeah, that's pretty much for your little, as they say, 15 minutes of fame. They definitely make those combine numbers whatever they want. They do them in front of people, but I mean, it ain't like it ain't Fast Brothers. It's Brothers that's fast. Smiths, yeah. I feel you on that. What do we dream? Are we going to the other dimensions or just time travel? What is that? When we dream. No, you dream into a dream screen. I don't care what anybody says. You can just say whatever you want to lie. To lie. How can I say this? If somebody tells me that you don't go into the dream screen and you can't go to that dimension and debate me there, and let me show you the dream screens. Yeah, I can't be convinced because I experience, I've watched dream screens. So that's where your dreams go. Now, what generates that? Now that I'm stumped. I can't tell you why we have that, why we generate that, why that is generated. Star Trek got in a little bit of one of the episodes where these people's powers these people was always asleep. And when they came near the planet, they was able to entice people to kind of interact and fight these motherfuckers while they was asleep. And of course, the European Star Trek was able to out finesse them. But so they're kind of showing you that there is something, and what generates that, again, I can't tell you, but that's where our dreams go. Our dreams are different from, now you say time travel. I'm going to pause about time travel because like they said on what was the one show where the boy went thousands of years back in time, when in reality, the trick is being able to only go back a few seconds. As I said before, because of being a time walker and understanding highways, I've been able to steal time just driving. Because again, sometimes you only need a few seconds to avoid something. So I've been able to get that kind of time. Now, I know you're saying, to go forward or go back a little bit, but time travel can be is going back 2-3 minutes. It don't have to be, this wide gap. So the way that you would start trying to understand it or even trying to practice it is those short intervals. And for me, driving becomes natural where I can steal time from driving. So I would say the dream thing is whatever generates that. And again, I don't know. I don't know what generates dream screens, why that is where we dream, that we have to go into these screens. I can't tell you. I don't know. Maybe a little Urban Meyer curse into play. Yeah, that's a good point. That's a real good point. Jupiter's Rising is very deep. It's a bad movie, but they are telling. Well, yeah, they tell you, because that's one thing that we most people agree is that they have to tell you something about their corruption. They kind of have to show the corruption a little bit. I mean, even when they was telling us about this bug the past year, they were still pushing out that this could be some bullshit by them. I mean, as much as the fear program was pushed out there, they still have to leave some room for the doubter, the doubting Thomas. They still got to leave that room for the doubting Thomas, because that's how a lot of us look at this thing. All of us have become doubting Thomases. We look at our twin as like, man, you on some bullshit. You are not, you on some bullshit. So we become doubting Thomases. They don't want us to be the doubting Thomases. They want us to be the head. They want us to be the Yahshua. They want us to be like, well, I'm the one that's making this trek and doing this. They don't want you to be able to be the one to sit back and dig, to be the doubting Thomas. Like everything motherfuckers y'all doing is foul and we see it's foul. So I guess first Crick Rocks, here comes Richard. Now the audio is different. Okay. Well, that's them just fucking with it. They want you to doubt what you saw. Shapeshifters are real. As I've said before, there's so many different phasing. I phased before, even myself. I was saying, being with the young lady, she's phasing. So phasing is a type of shape shifting. So, yeah, yeah. So it just, I think, like most people like think that's just a reptilian thing, and it's more than just reptilians can do that. It's a lot of different beings that can do that. Again, I'm saying these motherfuckers been here for a long time. It ain't just a short period they've been here. They've been here for a long time. So movies show you how all these different type of beings can and then what was it, Rihanna, where you can be the chameleon. You can turn into something that you see. I mean, that's another tell that they saw us and they was able to turn into what we was, because they saw that they could deal with us by just looking like us. We wasn't able to see the real them, and that's the Rihanna character, where she's trying to show you, the what is it called, the City of 1,000 Planets or 1,000 Cities, something like that, Valerian. When she was able to chameleon things, that's what they was trying to tell you. Religion destroys spirituality. Absolutely. It absolutely does. It absolutely does. Because there's no controllers in spirituality. If you want to get with people and share the experience, you can. But religion doesn't want that. Religion, I mean, look at the Protestants. The Protestants and the Catholics have two different books. They look at it two different ways, which turned into, you got Christians and you got Catholics. It used to be Protestants against Catholics, but now they've kind of slapped everybody that ain't Catholics into Jesuits to Christianity, which, as we talk about a lot of them, you ever, what did he say? Do you ever get into a Ram Dass? Yeah, I don't want to look that up, so please explain a little more. I don't know about that name. How is there the audio at Tesla? How is there no audio at Tesla? That's a good point, because audio existed in his lifetime. And he was at the World's Fair. There are talk audio of Nikola Tesla. There are no talks of Tesla. Yeah, it should have been. Should have been so. Hey, there's my man, Conspiracy. What's happening? Glad to see you. Who was the leader of the Eternals? Feminine energy. Yeah. Well, but not the. See, if you looked at the Eternals, the thing that was interesting is it was the same Anunnaki story, basically. If you followed the names, it was like myth, it was like Greek mythology, which was, we know, copied from the Kemetans, but it was a lot of that, because her name was her name was Athena, and we know that she's supposed to be the goddess of war of Athena. So they tried to trim some of the names off, but the one they went into that was really Ankh, you know, that was a male. So that was a male voice. So from hearing that male voice, now the leader on the planet, yes, was female and feminine, but and I'm not through watching it. You guys think he was a real character? Because Stephen Hawkins was like, yeah, serving 40 years longer than anyone with ALS. Yeah, Hawkins was definitely, I don't even know what that thing was. That thing wasn't even, yeah. Yep. Mother Nature, Mary Jane. Yeah, Jay. Phaedos created the steam engine in Eternals. Phaedos, yeah. He was the one. He was the one that put that together, and they said that, and they get that from Tesla's description, because Tesla was supposedly was able to describe that he was able to do that. Apparently, Tesla could run simulations in his mind for his investigations and knew what parts would fail if not fixed. Yes, absolutely, absolutely. And a lot of people have, you don't hear people being able to think like that. I'm living on a farm and living the simple life. We go into another. Okay, that is beautiful. I think that is what we all should strive for. Get these little houses and be self-sufficient. Be self-sufficient and teach our own children. All these stories of people going back and living into the 1870s, trying to, live like the Mennonites, doesn't really look like that's a bad deal to cut off all their shit. I still want zippers, but to cut off all their shit. The CDC brought up worse than they said that last. So that's next. Yeah, they less chicken. KFC doesn't sell spicy chicken wings anymore. The second time I heard about another lockdown game, I saw the staff with all masks, and we still got to wear that shit on the plane. Yeah, the planes don't make any sense, because some of the places were saying, drop that mandate. But then you had slow Biden and saying that these people still gotta, they got all this medicine left. They got to get rid of it. Fear is a powerful tool. Yeah, that's what they're using against the world. They're using fear against the world. The same thing with this Russian thing. As I said, when I was in kindergarten, first grade, we were still doing, bomb drills. We wasn't just doing the fire drills. We were just still doing the nuclear bomb drills. Get under your desk. Like a desk in the school is going to save your ass. You're going to get fried. Well, I'm sorry, I missed this. What do you think about Jung's shadow work and his work on dreams? Yeah, Jung was kind of deep in a lot of ways. I think a lot of people find Jung more relatable than the other dude that was using the cocaine, that was so into dreams and the mommy daddy issues. Jung actually has and it's funny, Jung died 2 weeks before I was born. He dies like the 20th, I want to say. And I'm born on the 30th. So he died within a week, of me being born. He wrote a book about Gnosticism too. I think he saw the spiritual meaning of when he went into the mind and the spiritual mind. I think Jung was one of the few that they was able to go into the spiritual mind. Yeah, I did a nice report on him in college. What is the dream screen? So when you lay in bed at night with your feet, I don't care, you lay on your stomach, your side, above your feet is a oblong screen, not very big. What is this, about not quite 3 feet, maybe 2.5 feet. And it's an oblong shape, and that's where our dreams go into. We dream into a type of screen. We dream into a type of screen. And I don't care what anybody says, I would dispute that until the end of days, of my days at least, that we dream into a screen. When you go to sleep at night, you start projecting into the screen. And that's where all our dreams go into. I don't know why we need that. I don't know how our minds create that. And I don't even know how we project into the screen. I can't. I don't know. But all I know is that is what I've experienced. And I've been able to even watch other people's screens. As I said, I would lay between my ex, my daughter's mother, I would get between my body, her body, and I would watch her screen and I would watch my screen. And a lot of times my daughter would sleep on the floor. And I would even look over to my daughter's screens at times. And so this is where our dreams go in. We dream into screens, and I'm sure that's where television and movies came from. But yeah, Soap. I think shadow work. Shadow work is interesting because just the idea of the shadow is to kind of scare you away. And it's nothing more than being able to work in the void. Nothing more than that. Nothing more than that. It's nothing more than that. Some try to put a negative spin on it, but it's really not a negative thing to work in the void. And you can't be any more. See, they call it shadow work, but yet they're telling you that you're working from a shadow from light. The shadow comes from the light. So do you see it's still connected when in reality you don't need the light to go into the void? So that's kind of like a double talk a little bit to call it shadow work. Yeah, maybe they have their hands in the reality buttons and cheat codes, and kind of like the show Quantum Leap, yeah, where they can body snatch. But Quantum Leap is about possession. Quantum Leap is a TV show they put on that is straight possession, and that's what they show you is you can possess a person back in the future. Again, when we talking about time travel, you can possess a person in the past. You can possess a person in the future. I mean, but I don't think it might be easier for people to understand that you can possess a person in the past, because some people say, well, you don't know the names. But what you do know, how do I want to say this? What you do know about that, what you do know, are there are going to be beings that are alive that are going to be interacting with your ancestors. So that could be an aim. Because a lot of times you don't necessarily know your ancestors' names, but you know the periods where they probably exist. So it is possible to step into your ancestors' shoes or step into the shoes of somebody around them. And I say around them because, and I laugh because you're aiming and you could miss. And so if you miss, because possessing people, and how do I want to say this? Possessing people, when you go through these halls that open up these scenes, it's not that easy, because you can miss. You really can miss. You see this, you see the way you want to go in. It ain't like these movies. You see these scenes, and you're talking about the microsecond of a microsecond of a microsecond to try to throw your consciousness. Ah. It's not good getting a call at this hour. Not very good. Might have to cut this short. Okay. I don't know if you can get body snatched. Not necessarily. I mean, you can open yourself up to possessions. A lot of that work of doing the circles and all that kind of shit can open you up to that. I mean, that's open it up. We can create our dreams. So imagine if we could dream and work in reality. These people don't want us to know we can truly manipulate reality. Yeah. I mean, it's like Neo coming out the Matrix. Neo had the same energy in the matrix as he had outside the matrix. So yeah, it's the same thing. It's the same thing. Do you think urban blacks need to know their history? Uh, I mean, that's the CRT. The CRT is to erase the history. Is to erase the history. Let me see something. Give me a second. Bear with me. Bear with me. I need to get up for a second. That ain't coming from him. That's not him up. I'm gonna have to take that call. Something must have happened. So to answer your question, right now they want to erase the wretchedness, the bloodthirstiness of Europeans. That's what they want to erase. They don't want the future generations to know that they conquered this country on blood. They conquered this country on deception. They don't want you to know that. Going even back to when Cortez came. I mean, there's no way that Cortez story is true, that 500 men or 1,500 men, control. I mean, that makes you think reality ain't real. I don't care how many cannons you have, they only had something like 5 rifles, and it was the first generation rifles. And they only had something like 20, 30 horses. So to see saying conquistadors just charged, no, they had to sleep. How did they sleep? So to know your history, we should know their bloodthirstiness. Their bloodthirstiness should be taught over and over again. Now, do the modern Europeans owe us? Not really, but we still need to put their foot on their neck to show how bloodthirsty and deceitful these people are. We still have to push that. That still has to be shown that these is bloodthirsty people, and these are bloodthirsty people's relatives or descendants. That has to always be out there. And that is what they don't want, because there's like, well, we were the bloodthirsty people, but it's in you. It's in you. It's in you. It's in you. And so, I'm not trying to say each individual, but this is their history. It's wild how this works. I want to say it's a hoax. But people that can't smell or taste months later is the only weird thing to me. Funny that radiation poisoning has the same symptoms. Cancer too. Yeah. Radiation poisoning has the same symptoms from cancer. Yep. I thought that too. And that made me think it was fake too. A gift is on her 5th. Woo, 5th. Whoa, 5th. Vampire has to be invited into the home. Other than that, they can't come in. The same thing with all these people that need our consent, and they have to tell us of what they're doing. Yeah, that's a good way of looking at it. They do. All right, thank you. Don't believe in anything or feeding area, and fear is used to these beings can live. If you don't give fear, they just disappear. But see, I disagree, because the driving, the troll under the bridge, the troll that feeds off driving, you couldn't drive with fear. So there are some instances where they feed and there's no fear involved. So they feed off of gas. They feed off of us driving. So these are a bunch of different entities that feed off different things. So it's not just the fear that they feed off of. That's one portion of it. I do agree. But there's parts of this that if they use fear, they can't get fed. And driving is the biggest thing. These people really on downloads. NPCs already lost in the metaverse. Some people who had their FBI profile pics talking about they got jabbed now. And they have the Ukrainian flag. Exactly. They can be trained like in the baseball game the other day, the opening on ESPN of the Yankees. And I know SD ain't show up tonight. His Red Sox lost tonight. They lost 2 in a row, didn't they? What do you think about the benefit of retention, cultivating sexual energy? For young people, maybe. For young people. I see that for young people. I don't see, like me at 60. What am I retaining my shit for? I got 8 children. So there's no reason for me to retain it. You got to keep it working when you get my age to keep it working, because it is a muscle and you want blood flow to flow through it. So you've got to keep it working. So to me, okay, this is the same thing. When they cut off Samson's hair, Samson lost his power. That's really what they're giving you. They're giving you the Samson story. They're giving you the Samson story. That's what they're giving you. They're giving you the Samson story. So, like you read some stories that say boxers couldn't fuck before the fight, that it would weaken them. You got other fighters that say they would fuck right the night before the fight and it didn't bother them at all. So it's the same kind of story. If a boxer can fuck and then go in there and whoop some ass on being, being conditioned still, his legs don't go, I don't see how that hurts you. I think this is, again, Samson cutting off the hair. I'm slobbing and shit. So I think that's the same way. A woman was haunted at night by the glare, the skeleton hand, just like in the movie. One might think pull all the covers to her face. Okay. Yep. If the world did what we do, they would just disappear. And that's yeah. I would agree with that. The way to get away from, you face fear. You have to face fear. You run into danger. You don't, you face fear. You have to face it. You can't run from it. Whoops. One of the characters in the Bible is one of the making stuff with his hands. Hint, hint. There you go. Of course, magic is real. I'll say this though, Jay. Magic is real, but magic has to be practiced. It has to be practiced, and magic is, you have to be consistent with the practice. Because like I was telling my son driving, we took a little trip today. You have to be consistent with that type of practice. You have to be consistent in the way magic works. You have to really practice it consistently. I'm talking like Joe Biden. Okay, let me break down what I mean is, once you understand how your magic works, you have to apply it basically almost the same way. And little things that you may not think help your magic, you really have to practice those little things. Now, I'll give the tiniest example. I always walk around my car to the front door, to the driver's side door. No matter which way my car's faced, no matter what, I walk to my door. Now, leaving my home, if I park back, if I back in, I walk straight to the door. If I don't, I walk around. Now, I know this may sound trivial, but this is how magic has to be practiced. These little things, like again, when I go to the hospital, I stop at before I pause. Well, I don't go in the mouth, because if you go, there's a mouth in most hospitals. If you look at the architecture, there's a mouth if you walk straight through it. But there's pillars on the sides, which I always find. I go behind. I don't go in the mouth, and I hesitate. And you should do this even leaving your home. And when I go in the hospital, I say, I ain't bringing nothing in here. I don't expect to get anything out of here. Even though I'm going through therapy, I say that. I say, I don't expect to get, I'm not bringing anything in. I really don't expect anything to bring out me. I have made no agreement to bring anything back with me. And I practice this, and I go to therapy 2-3 times a week, but I practice this every time I go in. But my point is, you have to practice magic like this. So, she said that she faced it and afraid of the face, it actually ran away in fear. Then she's going to get mad and ran after it. And she saw it becoming truly afraid. It disappeared out of her house. Oh, that's a cool story. No spoilers for Snowfall. Okay, I'll stay off it. If you haven't watched it, you just taped it. And the Batman, he said himself, he saw fear is a powerful tool. And yes, absolutely, it is a powerful tool. Facts. I just noticed today that Batman logo has 33 in it. Like we find on episode 33 of the Batman show that Batman's grandfather was founder of the Skull and Bones, and Wolverine looks like too. Good point. Good point. Batman kissing, trying to get through, trying to get through, homie. 3 things to point out in the Batman movie: flooding, the Hurricane Katrina, martial law in all cities have serious corruption. Yeah, and I've talked about that. Dope don't exist in cities without the city's help. Dope does not exist in the city without the city's help, without some people getting greased and palmed. Yeah, absolutely. Batman is based on the Egyptian Bat God. No, they found the outfit down in South America. The Bat God in South America is really where they copied it from. The rich are getting richer, the middle class and poor. There's no more middle class. It's rich and working class. Middle class got destroyed when Reagan came in. The Moon Knight and the Egyptian God connection, where Moon Knight is being controlled. No, I don't know that one. I got to see it, but the trailer now that the character gives me the creeps. Can't hear. No, I'm good, or you can't hear me. Oh, we back? Oh, okay. I don't know what happened. Sorry. I think you'll love Moon Knight. Okay, I'll check that out. Okay, I'm good. Okay, I didn't even know I was out. I didn't touch anything to kill me. I have to check it out, Jeffrey. Moon Knight's off the chain. Okay. Oh, okay. Yeah, I got it. I'll start checking it out. They dropped a couple of truths in Moon Knight already. Okay, I'll check it out. I got to get through these other 2 movies. That's what I do. When I get off here, I start watching movies. Do you think unborn Black children need to know their history? Urban? I think so. I understand the question. I would say, that slavery shit needs to be kicked out, and find out who your real people are and teach who their real people are, and quit pushing this slave narrative on them, because all of us wasn't slaves. And find out who your real family is, and then teach your family history. Like I always talk about, I had actually we had people in the freaking Revolutionary War. I've had family in the War of 1812. Pontiac is from the same tribe, and that's the 1700s, right after the Revolutionary War. Civil War, I've lost an ancestor in the Civil War. None of us got killed. My grandfather was in World War II. My grandfather and my step-grandfather that raised me, or not necessarily raised me, but I didn't really know my grandfather, but I knew my step-grandfather. I knew him, and he was in World War II too. So uncle in Vietnam, first cousin in Vietnam. Yeah. So yeah, I would say definitely teach them all, but don't teach them that back to Africa shit. Driving, can you elaborate on that, Unc? Well, yeah. I mean, again, there's an entity out there that feeds off of pollution. And the entity that feeds off of pollution also feeds off the cars going on highways. Now, here in Minnesota, we have clover leaves. Our on and offs are clover leaves, which are retarded and should cause more accidents, but again, they don't. You go through Milwaukee, you start seeing snakes. You go to Milwaukee, you go to Chicago, you see the snakes. Like anybody knows that, you get on the Dan Ryan and you go through downtown, and I'll tell you, with a good car, some of the best driving. You go through snakes. Even going through mountains. I was just in the Ozark Mountains, and you seeing a lot of snakes going through the mountains, like going to the homes. And so these entities feed off these clover leaves. Cars coming in and off on a circle, again, the circle, this creates a kind of energy that these beasts feed off of. And I've said before, if too many people die driving cars, this entity couldn't eat. That is why drunk drivers make it sometimes. There is literally a way where you can take a cord and you can plug it in and you can drive and you'll be fine. That's why the dudes that have the Moore's license and go through all this, you are attracting the thing that you say that your practice is supposed to push away. You are attracting that. You are doing things that attract that. So there's an energy, there's a consciousness to driving. Here's another example. Edsel Ford put in a part of a car that had no purpose. And later, when briefly asked about it, he said it was the conscience of the car. That was the only way he could describe it. And there was no need. And this part was in cars for years and years. But the way he described it, he was like, this part is the consciousness that connects you to the car. And as I've said many times, I know everybody can experience this, where you just know your car is out of gas or your car about to break down, but you need it to get you somewhere. And you be like, look, so-and-so going to loan me $5 to get me over to his house, and then I'll get that $5, I'll put it into you. I mean, your car works with you all the time. Now, at a certain point, yeah, they can run out of gas. Yeah, they can break down. But there are other times where the cars will work with you. As I said, I drove to Minnesota. Every 50, 60 miles, I had to put 3 or 4 quarts of oil in it because I blew something in the engine. Motherfucker sold me a car and the engine blew as I was going to Minnesota. So every time I stopped and got gas, I had to add oil. And that car almost made me go crazy. It broke down so much, but it made me understand cars too. So the point is on your whole reality of driving, there's a consciousness that everybody can connect to. Again, that's why I say with drunk drivers, this is what's funny is the energy of driving and smoking weed is almost opposite. That's why in the old Cheech and Chong movie, they showed him driving like 30 miles an hour down the highway. It is completely different energy. That is why the drunk driving is more of the type of energy that is made that this entity controls things. So that is why drunk drivers can hit a certain vibration and make it. Might never get stopped for drunk driving in their life, may never kill anybody. Because the energy of driving is really that close to drunk driving. It is almost the same type of energy. Whereas when you smoke weed, you tend to drive slower because you're bringing in a different vibration. The vibration of smoking weed, listening to music, you tend to, what do they call it, easy rider. It is a different energy. And you catch yourself, if you smoke weed and drive, you have to catch yourself to keep up with that energy. So there's a consciousness of why we use the gas, why the gas goes into the atmosphere and the roads. Again, cars can't kill each other all the time. People wouldn't drive. And these entities don't eat. And that's why they've had water. I was telling my son, they've had cars that run on water and push out steam, basically. But they don't want that. Well, guys, I'm going to have to cut this short, and I can't do the divination because I got a call that I'm concerned about, so sorry. Tomorrow night, do I take tomorrow night off? Tomorrow night is Sunday going into Monday. Do I take Monday night and Tuesday night off? Yeah, and then come back Thursday. So, yeah, I'll be on tomorrow night. Maybe the day. Again, I got to kind of rush. That call concerns me. I better respond to it. So, thank you guys for joining. Sorry I can't do the divination. I'll give it tomorrow. But until we meet again, say less.